Dandy's World has updated, which means there are some fresh bugs to go through. Some of these bugs are out of this world, completely bizarre. Our first bug is to do with Bassie's idle animation. This user said Bassie's idle animation plays in her run animation if you go forward a little bit repeatedly. Let's take a look. As you can see, if you move forward a tiny bit, Bassie's idle animation carries on playing, and this doesn't happen to any other tune other than Bassie. As you can see, Bassie's idle animation is playing through the walk animation, and this is happening across all of Bassie's skins. Our next problem is to do with Koko's bonbons. This user said, if you press against the elevator as Koko and use your ability, bonbons go in. And that's true. As you can see, you can spawn bonbons in the elevator, and once the elevator opens, the bonbons will be there. Also, it looks like you can spawn bonbons outside of the walls as well. Another bug to do with Koko's bonbon is Koko's ability cooldown. This user said, is it me or Koko ability slower than sticker? Let's see what they're talking about. If we compare the sticker cooldown to the bonbon cooldown, it looks like the seconds on the bonbon cooldown are going down slower compared to the seconds on the sticker cooldown. And I did a test, and it seems like instead of Koko's ability having a cooldown of 40 seconds, Koko's ability has a cooldown of 45 seconds because the cooldown is going down slower for some reason, which is giving Koko a longer ability cooldown. Hopefully the dev teams can fix the cooldown of Koko's ability so that it's truly 40 seconds instead of 45 seconds. Our next bug is to do with Connie's new Easter skin, Dawn Clouds. This bug is happening to all players. This user said whenever the new Connie skin runs, the arm twitches and it's weird. Let's take a look. So whenever this Connie skin runs and then stops and runs again, as you can see, the arms start twitching out of place. It looks like the arm is trying to T-pose, but then snaps back into place. Everybody's experiencing this problem with this particular Connie skin. Hopefully the dev team can fix this problem so that players can enjoy the skin. Our next bug is to do with Blot's new Easter skin, Fancy Frosting. This user said that Blot's ink is bugged on the new skin. Let's take a look. And it is true, as you can see, the ink is floating instead of being on the floor, and this is only happening to Blot's new Easter skin, Fancy Frosting. Our next bug is to do with Squirm. This user said was using Squirm and I went invisible while using my ability. Let's see what happened. So this user is playing Squirm, everything looks normal. Let's see what happens. Squirm activates his ability and then Squirm goes invisible. What is going on? I have never seen anything like this before. Squirm is still able to extract and is still able to play the game normally, but Squirm is completely invisible. It looks like this user was playing a solo. The user that posted this bug report has said that the bug was just visual and Twisteds were able to see them. Our next topic is about Twisted Dial and surviving a Twisted Dial attack. How is that possible? This user said, is this normal? Let's see what they're talking about. As you saw, this Glisten managed to survive a lethal dial attack, which is usually a fatal attack, but Glisten managed to survive. So the Twisted Bassie actually hit the Glisten, which gave Glisten a few seconds of immunity because Twisteds can't attack you straight after you've been hit. And Lethal Dial used his attack animation on Glisten, but Glisten survived because Glisten was still immune to Twisteds. Our next bug is to do with Invisible Twisteds. Invisible Twisteds have been around for a very long time, but recently there's been a surge of reports of Invisible Twisteds across multiple devices, and it's quite worrying. For example, this user said, yeah, still unsure of what even happened. Let's take a look. As you can see, the Yatta is being attacked by an invisible twisted. The Yatta is on a PC, and usually we get problems with invisible twisteds and assets on mobile devices, but it looks like players on PC and console are experiencing invisible twisteds as well. Many players have reported that the invisible twisteds only started after our most recent update, which was on Friday, the 10th of April. As you can see, this user said for some reason, and this has never happened till now, twisteds are invisible. We have had a response from the developers about invisible models in the past. When I say past, I mean 2 years ago in 2024, Quell said if a model is invisible or not appearing on your side, it's a Roblox error, not something we can fix. So Quell said this in 2024, and it doesn't seem like the dev team have spoken about invisible twisteds ever since. But yes, it's quite weird that a surge of players have reported invisible twisteds after Friday's update. Our next issue is to do with the spawn location of items in runs. So many players have reported that items are now spawning inside machines. This user said, I didn't have a Yatta, let's take a closer look. As you can see, gumballs have spawned underneath the machine, and a lot of players have reported this problem as well, where items are spawning inside machines. Super weird. Our next bug has received a response from a developer, and it's to do with this area where tunes are getting stuck. For those of you that don't know, this user said, genuinely sad, let's take a look. Tunes are getting stuck in this area on the new Easter map, and once you go into this location, you are unable to escape, and it ruins the whole run. King Mob has replied to this bug saying, I'll check it out, sorry that happened to you. So hopefully in a few days, the dev team can fix this bug that is getting tunes stuck. Our next bug is to do with tunes appearing and disappearing from the elevator. This user said tunes keep appearing and disappearing from the elevator and floors. I am not laggy at all, and this kept happening. Interesting. So they claim that their internet connection has nothing to do with this bug. Let's see what happened. As you can see, tunes are literally appearing out of thin air, and the user that posted this bug said that their internet connection was fine. So what on earth was going on? How can tunes just appear and disappear from your screen? Our next bug is to do with an abnormal amount of tapes at floor 1. Let's see what happened. This user said, I found a glitch in my random trinkets Bassie solo run. Let's take a look at what happened. So this user is on floor 1 playing Bassie. Everything looks normal, but then when we look at their tapes is at 562 and it's floor 1. How is that possible? The user said that this is a solo run, so nobody helped this user get this many tapes on floor 1. I asked, how did you do the glitch? The user replied saying, I'm not sure how. I was just doing machines, then I saw my tape count. Twisted Connie and Twisted Toodles were on the floor, so maybe it's connected to them. I have never seen anything like this before. 500 tapes at floor 1, playing a solo. How is that possible? It seems like the game just randomly gave them the tapes. I did ask if they were able to use the tapes, and they said yes. So that is super weird. Our next topic is about being kicked from runs and returning to the lobby. This has been happening a lot to players recently, and it seems like there might be a reason. So this is what happens when you are kicked from a run. This user has an example. Let's take a look. So they're extracting a machine. Everything looks normal. And then they are sent to the lobby with no error message whatsoever, and a lot of players are experiencing this problem. It seems like there might be a reason for this, and the reason might be because of hackers. So this user said, what happened? Let's take a look at the video. So this Bassie is playing in a run, and then The Bassie gets sent to the lobby with no error message, but let's go back a few seconds and see what happened. Just before the Bassie gets sent to the lobby, take a look at this glisten. This glisten is using the run animation of a twisted. I think it's twisted glisten, and that's an exploiter. So maybe if you're getting kicked from runs, especially match-made runs in public lobbies, it might be because there is a hacker in your run that's using exploits and the game kicks everybody back to the garden view lobby. Now, this isn't a fact. We haven't had any official response from the dev team as to why players are being sent back to the lobby, but hackers could be a reason. And since it seems to only happen in matchmaking runs, hackers being the reason is a high possibility. And if that's true, in that hackers are causing players to be sent back to the lobby, that means the dev team might be working on some new anti-cheat systems. Speaking of hackers, our next problem is to do with a false ban message. What's a false ban message? Well, this user sent in this clip. Let's take a look at what happened. So this Pebble player is walking into the elevator to join a matchmaking run. Let's see what happens. The game says match found, and then they get a ban message saying that they've been permanently banned, but then they are able to log back into Dandy's world. And once they log in, they return back to the elevator to play a solo game, and everything works normally. They are able to play the game solo. So what's going on? This user said, but like, if I just went with someone else to matchmake, then it would work. But it would say I'm banned if I try to go in alone. So this user can't enter matchmaking alone, but when they join matchmaking with another player, everything's fine. Or if they play a solo game, everything is fine. It's just when they join matchmaking alone. Our next bug is to do with Roblox crashing. This user said, all the time when I try to pick up an item in a run, the Roblox itself crashes. Mobile player. The user goes on to say, as soon as I do anything, my Roblox immediately breaks down. I can only extract and that's it. So this player can only extract machines, and when they attempt to pick up an item, their game crashes. I don't think I've heard any other reports like this before. They should definitely try another device to see if it's happening on that device, and then you can find out if there's a problem with your mobile. Our next bug is to do with one of the medals called Master of Many, where you have to complete the mastery on at least 20 tunes. This user said, I have only 14 as you can see in the video, but it says I have Master of Many. I mean, I'm not complaining. Let's take a look. So this user only has 14 masteries completed, but as you can see, this player has the Masters of Many title. I looked at my account and my account has an inflated mastery count as well. The system says I have 17 completed masteries, but the truth is I have only completed 14 masteries, so there are definitely some data errors happening. Our next bug is super weird. It's to do with the garden view lobby. As you can see, this tune Sparkle is on a loop. I have never seen anything like this before. I wonder what caused this to happen.